Well, okay, Dr. Warren, we're very happy to have you in our studios once again.
Thank you, Prof. Always delighted to be here.
Thank you very much. We're happy you're here. So today we want to talk about the so-called digital generation in Africa in terms of how they can help Africa to gain global preeminence, to be more globally competitive. But first of all, I'd like to know what is the digital generation. These are people who are what? And whether I'm also in the digital generation.
Well,
Am I of it?
in terms of your chronological age, you will not be deemed to be part of the digital generation.
Okay.
But in terms of your mental attitude, and also in terms of what you do, with technology, you can also be regarded as somebody that belongs to the digital generation.
Okay.
Among the digital generation, there are people that are called the netizens of the world. The netizens are people that are so used to this new world that is based on the internet. They are so well acquainted with the world of the internet that it's become second nature, to them. Most of them were born with the internet around them.
Okay.
Whereas most of us were born, when the internet was not, there. So for them, it's second nature. It's part of how they live. It's part of their ecosystem.
Okay. So around the world, I mean, can African kids, these young guys that are coming up, are they at par with, say, their cohorts in, say, Japan and the United States and Europe?
Thank God, to me, they are.
Okay.
100% at par, especially from the point of view of what they can do. That that is to do with their inner nature. Innately, they are at par.
Okay.
But in terms of exposure, some of them might find that they are not really at par with some of the people that are out there, in the world. I once went to a place in London where some kids from the US came, some kids from Africa, some kids from Britain, and some kids from other parts of Europe. I was just observing them. Hardly had they met, their hands were on the computer and their hands were going like this. And this one was asking the other one, what level are you on this? What level are you?
Okay.
And they were all excited and so on and so forth. And I was also so intrigued that even the African kids were behaving exactly and were as knowledgeable as the other ones. So definitely, I believe that Africa, in terms of our youth, are at par. But of course, as I said, in terms of exposure, you might find that some of the things people are used to in some other parts of the world, people are not used to.
So how are they at par if they've not been exposed to some of the technologies out there?
First of all, when I say that, I'm saying that with regard to certain levels of exposure.
Okay.
For example, in the US, there are things that are called tech shops. Okay. Tech shops are DIY centers where you can go and
what does DIY mean?
Do it yourself.
Okay.
Centers where you can go and experiment on all kinds of things. Take, for example, artificial intelligence. You can go there and be building artificial intelligence by yourself.
Okay.
You can go there and be building something to do with blockchain.
Okay.
You can go there and create a robot. You can go there and create whatever you like. It's a question of going there. You have an idea, and you can go there and you can tell them, look, I would like to do such and such and such. I would like to build such and such and such. And they say, okay, here are all the tools. So you then, can start building if you can. But if you can't, they can assist you. If you don't want them to assist you, if you want them to even build it wholly, by themselves, they can also, do that. So there are companies in the US that have centers where kids can come to and then have hands-on so many kinds of, technologies. So from that point of view, some African kids are not as well, exposed. And that's also the reason why, to me, it is absolutely important for African countries to start building their own tech shops or equivalents of tech shops.
Isn't that what people like you are doing with Digital Africa? Are you the one supposed to do that, or is the government has to build these tech shops?
To build tech shops,
yes,
or DIY centers, or hubs,
yeah,
are things that, yes, the government can participate if it wants, either wholly or partially.
yeah.
But then again, individuals can also build their own. A lot of the tech shops and a lot of the hubs that are in places like, or technology parks that are in places like the US or the UK, other parts of the world, are not necessarily built by the government. In fact, about 80% are built by individuals, by private organizations.
Okay. So we just did something in Nigeria. I saw the Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy. They had a big event recently. So what was that? Was that a sort of a launching of the regulations for the new digital environment? What were we trying to achieve? Because that was government doing something. Yeah. What were we achieving there?
Luckily, I was at that event. It's called E-Nigeria, and they used. Anyway, E-Nigeria holds every year.
Okay.
It holds every year, and every year they choose a different team.
Okay.
But the theme for this year is to do with digital economy, turning Nigeria into a digital economy.
Okay.
And that is in keeping with the new ways of looking at things by the ministry. The ministry responsible for ICT now is called Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy.
Yeah.
To me, this is a marvelous, thing.
Okay.
It shows that we are recognizing the importance of information technology in this country. A country like South Africa recognizes the importance of information technology and created a Ministry of Information Technology. Yeah. And in a place like UAE, they created a Ministry of Artificial Intelligence and a Ministry of possibilities.
Yes.
Those are countries that are taking some of these new technologies very, very seriously. So for us to have a Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, it shows that this country all of a sudden wants to take the issue of building a digital economy very seriously. So the event was used to look at this digital economy. What is it all about? To just bring some stakeholders so that we can have a conversation. There was even a forum that I also participated within that event. Now, apart from that, they also used the opportunity to launch a new booklet called a booklet on building a digital economy. But it's mainly to do with the policies and strategies for building that digital economy.
Okay, so what we've done, that encompasses what the UAE has as Ministry of Possibilities, Ministry of ICT. What we just when we say communication and digital economy, because economy is very encompassing. Okay. So now we want to, because you said something, in fact, I wanted to come in. You said something about how we want to transform the economy into a digital economy. Exactly. Transform from what? From an analog economy? I mean, seriously.
Well, we are transforming from an economy in which, when you go to most of the sectors, the level of computerization, the level of digital content or digital infrastructure that are used to do things in each of these sectors is very low. To an economy in which, when you go to every sector, the content that is digital is very
but the government, but their role there, isn't it just regulatory? I mean, they can't do, but they create the hubs and all those things. They're just regulators. They're not launching it. They're not creating it, or are they?